a while back, I was able to score a pretty inexpensive copy of The Smoking Ruin and Other Stories for RuneQuest, Roleplaying in Glorantha to get the full title. And this past week, I was able to find a very inexpensive, like ridiculously inexpensive copy of the Pegasus Plateau and Other Stories, which is the other, as far as I know anyway, the other collection of adventures so far put out officially by Chaosium for the new RuneQuest. I feel like lately, and I could be incorrect on this, but lately they are focusing more on their books of mythology as opposed to on adventures or a campaign. I think, and I could be full of crap, I think I heard something in the ether about them working on an actual long campaign for RuneQuest, but maybe I'm full of crap on that. I know that out there, there's the, I have the first volume. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but it's the 6 Seasons in Sartar, which is the Jonestown Compendium, so unofficial, but released through the auspices of Chaosium. You can get it, I know, on like drive-through. But that's the first. I think there's a 3. I think that's a 3-volume set to tell like a complete story of like a kind of a campaign. I think. Don't quote me on any of that. Anyway, what do we have? This is set in the mythic fantasy world of Glorantha. Yes, we know that. Blah, 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 blah. The rocky pinnacle of the Pegasus Plateau. Okay, the Pegasus Plateau is a desperate race to the top of a mountain to claim a priceless reward. The Gray Crane concerns an ancient legacy stolen from its rightful owner. The Rattling Wind is a deadly tale of ghosts and unearthly revenge. Crimson Petals describes a curse afflicting a beleaguered town. Gloomwillow's Hollow details the woods of the dead, a realm ruled by ghouls and worse. The ruin of the stream on the stream, I could read. The ruin on the stream delves into an ancient ruin in search of long-lost secrets of dragon magic. The Pairing Stones presents a tale of a wedding interrupted, lovers separated and reunited. Additionally, the Locane is a new tribe for use by game masters and players, and the lonely village of Reencot's Hope, perched between the Lunar Empire and its enemies in Sartar, provides refuge or a springboard for adventure. Suitable for new players, veteran game masters, and players, each adventure spotlights a unique aspect of or area of Dragon Pass. It can be used as introductions to Glorantha or as part of an existing campaign. Isn't that lovely? So, those are the adventures that are in here. We have, here's a table of contents, or no, it's not. Here's the credits page. Here's the table of contents. And nice map. The usual gorgeous artwork. And the idea of having a batch of adventures for this, I like the character portraits. It's helpful because, as I've expressed before, I'm fascinated by Glorantha and by the new RuneQuest, but it is daunting when you just kind of look at it and think, like, what is this game going to really look like at my table? It can be a little daunting, and part of it is because there is so much lore in the setting And part of it is honestly the system. There are elements of the mechanics of the combat system which, you know, for certain folks maybe it's something that they like. I don't know that it's something that I'm so into. So if I ever ended up getting RuneQuest to my table, I might go with a little bit more of a standard uh, basic role playing as opposed to using some of the specifics of this edition of RuneQuest. I don't know. Can't say that for sure. It's just some of my initial thoughts. But whatever the case, the lore is extensive and it can be overwhelming. So taking it in little bites with adventures, that's pretty cool. Could be a helpful way to ease into things. So I think that that's important, and I think it's something that I really kind of hungered for when I was looking at this game a few years ago. When I decided that I wanted to get into it, it was a little overwhelming. So I'm just very glad to see this kind of material. And I think that this will be helpful for me when I try to run it. So these look really cool. I mean, again, the art is great. I like the maps. You know, it's relatively easy to read. It's got graphics behind the page, but nothing that's, makes it so it's difficult to read. So all great. Very excited to check this out at some point. And who knows, maybe like so many other things, maybe one day I'll actually get this game to my table. Considering the luck I have had getting even something as generic as Dungeon Crawl Classics to my table, which has been more challenging than I would expect, I think getting something as more specific and opinionated and dare I say obscure. Like there's so many people are so familiar with pseudo medieval European fantasy because that is the kind of generic default for so much, that going into something a little more unusual, a little more specific, like very much Bronze Age fantasy, which has a very different vibe, it's a harder sell. I mean, I don't know. It's a harder sell. So we'll see if I'm able to bring it to the table. We'll see. One day, maybe. That's it for me for today. When recording this, actually, I know what's coming next. Maybe what's coming next. Somebody's sending me something from Australia. That's crazy. As I record this, it's probably a week or more away, but as you see this, it will have been in the past, as I suspect this won't post for another month or two. Anyhow, that's it for me now. Take care, and check out my links below if you feel like supporting me or the channel in any way. Any little bit is helpful and appreciated. I really do thank you for that. So take care.